Hey everybody, Shane Moran here with OTS Endurance Coaching and Zenberry. Um, Today I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about some of the things I do that help me maintain my injury-free body and help me recover from workouts. I'm not a physiologist, doctor, chiropractor, or anything like that. So this is just what I use and works for me. So if you have injuries or imbalances, you should really see a physical therapist or a doctor or a chiropractor or somebody like that. But these are just to give you some ideas of some of the equipment that's available to you out there. Some of it's not that expensive, and a few techniques that can really help keep you on the bike and keep you functioning. I recently had a serious knee problem, tracking issue with my left knee. It took me 2 months off the bike and really impacted my training and racing. I'm just getting up to speed now. And it was caused by a tracking issue with the patella and caused patellofemoral pain syndrome. Not fun, and it can lead to other things and become permanent, which could end your cycling as a hobby or career or anything like that. And there are a few steps you can take that I've learned through this process that can help prevent it or help heal it. But again, if you have this type of pain or injury, you should really see a professional. Okay, well, let's look at a few things that I do to recover and to maintain my body. Okay. Here, there are a few things that I do that I've been doing, and a few new things that I've discovered that have helped me over this past winter with injuries. Stretching is a very big part of maintaining your body as a cyclist. We tend to have very tight and shortened hip flexors, tight hamstrings. Your glutes are strong but underactive, especially while seated. You get low back pain. Your thoracic is bent over because you're hunched over the bars most of the time. Your shoulders get rolled forward. Your chest gets shortened. And as you get older and you're putting in a lot of miles, things start to break down. And you can get injuries that occur, overuse injuries. One of my big problems are adhesions, which is kind of like where all the muscles and sheathing, to make it simple terms, they get kind of glued together, so they don't slide over each other like they should. And I've seen this now that I'm in my 40s. I see this more and more being a problem. And part of this was one of the reasons why I had this patellofemoral pain syndrome in my left knee. It wasn't tracking correctly on a really long ride, and it started to hurt. And I couldn't end the ride. I had to continue to ride home. I was 70 miles from home and ended up riding on it longer than I probably should have, which just made it really bad. My quads were too tight. I'm in the gym a lot, so my muscles, the imbalances, the muscles that I tend not to be strong in cyclists, I'm pretty good with, because the tests I've done for my chiropractor and other people show that my muscles are strong, but over tight in certain areas, and then adhesions, things being glued together, and it just caused my patella not to track correctly. But to make things shorter, this is one tool. It's cheap. The stick. You may have heard of it. You may use it for recovery, but it's kind of like a rolling pin, little wheels on it, and you can use this. This is great because you can use it. It's kind of like a foam roller, but you can use it in areas that are a little harder to get to. Like, you can get here with your lower back, top of your glutes. I like to really work on the quad here. And it can be quite painful, but you can really work the areas as you can down the quad. And you can use this for recovery after a race or a long ride, but I like to use it for kind of breaking up some of these adhesions. You can really put pressure down, and then you can turn it. There's different techniques, this is a great tool. And it's not that expensive. A lot of these things aren't very expensive, and they're pretty effective. So that's the stick. Everybody knows the foam roller. They're varying densities and I guess softness or lack thereof. For me, I don't like the super really hard ones because you don't want to inflict more damage to your body when you're trying to recover. There's debate on whether this really works well or not, but I think for certain applications it does work. When I first started using this for my IT bands years ago, I could barely even roll on them. It was that painful. Now I can roll on them pretty good. Through the IT band, the front, you can use it on your glutes and in varying ways. I like to use it on my thoracic too because I have an issue with my thoracic. A lot of my problems come from my upper back. So I'll usually start out like this and get on it here, my thoracic, and get up here and just cross my arms here to get it nice and tight, and then just slowly, and I can feel the vertebrae just cracking, and just separated. Don't be rolling fast because that doesn't really help. You want to go slow, and you can move side to side to get the either side of the spine. And I'll work on that because you're hunched over the bars for so long, and you get this rolled back and rolled shoulders. So this really helps me, and I feel a lot more open, and my posture is improving by doing this. And then you can use it. You can use it on your lats. You can, you do the IT band. Starting with the hip. I like getting on the hip flexor here in the front and just relaxing into it and breathing. Again, you're not supposed to be sliding really fast. And you find a tight spot, you just kind of sit there. You can rotate across the muscle and across the whole quad as you roll down. That tends to help break up adhesions. And then the one that's really painful and is working really good, get yourself a lacrosse ball, or you can even use a tennis ball, but it's better to have something heavier. This is a rubber ball, but it's a lot denser than a tennis ball. And this one, I love this one. I use it along here by the hip and the glute, and just work it around. And you get those spots, you relax into it. You move slow. You don't want to be rolling, because your muscles kind of tense up, and you don't really get to the adhesions and break up the glued muscles. The hips are really the hips and the glutes on cyclists take a lot of abuse being in that position for so many hours. So what you do is you just get up on it like this. And man, when you first start doing it, it's really hard. And just kind of sit on it and gradually let your weight come down. And then you want to move your leg like this, and helps pull across the muscles. And you just move it around. I usually kind of come around. A great book that I highly recommend is Becoming a Supple Leopard. It's got a lot of great information in it, a lot of these exercises, and really educational as far as imbalance, not specifically for cyclists, but a lot of it applies to imbalances and the kinetic chain, and a lot of ways to, innovative ways to help you break up these problems and imbalances and where they occur. And again, it's just not a cure-all, but it helps break all that up. So get yourself one of these. Lacrosse balls, great, or a really dense rubber ball. They actually have these double. It's called a rad roller. It's a double. And actually, in the book, he takes 2 lacrosse balls and tapes them together with medical tape to make this. So, but this is a product you can buy. I'm not sure how much it costs, but again, it's not expensive. You use this on the lower back, laying on it. and work your way up the spine. So gradually work your way up. You can use this all over the body in different ways. And this is a real dense rubber. Another product I use this is primarily for recovery, but it actually works really well. Although they will not say this on their website or any recommendations, it really helps with injuries. It really helped me clear out the inflammation in my knee after I had body work done and it was swollen. This is the Mark Pro. This is the original. There's a newer one that's got a few more features, but it's an electric stimulation. So it's not magic. It's not going to build your quads to be monsters, and don't put them on your abs and think you're going to get six-pack out of it. It doesn't do that. A lot of those gimmicks that are out there you see on infomercials, that's not what this does. This is a legitimate product, and I bought it years ago for recovery. So it's got these electrodes, and you take them and place them on your leg, and it basically sends a pulse to your muscle. It's non-fatiguing, so you can use it after a long training ride or a stage race. And basically what it does is it helps activate the lymphatic system, which is a passive system and doesn't pump itself. So by doing this, it helps just flush some of the waste products that build up from racing or training really hard. When I first bought it, I tested it on one leg after a long 4 or 5 hour ride and didn't use it on the other leg. The next day I went on a road and could clearly feel a difference between the two legs. It's not cheap. I think they're $600 or something, but if it's something it's effective at least. I mean, there's compression tights. I use those also. They work well, but there's conflicting information of whether it really works or not. For me, my philosophy is if it feels good, then do it. The placebo effect, this feels good. Compression tights for me feel good. Like I feel my muscles are supported. Whether it really translates into my power being better the next day or not, I don't know. But I know it feels good while I'm using it, so I use it. Ice baths, there's new studies show that ice baths do not work. They actually hinder your recovery from workouts. And I've done them before, and they do not feel good. So I'm glad that report came out, so I don't have to do that anymore. But these are very effective. It helps clear out inflammation, although they won't say that on their website. They can't. But the other thing is, I like these better than, say, compression tights or those compression boots, the recovery boots that you see that are even more expensive than this. Those feel really good, and they're really effective. I've used those before. But the problem is, like this, I can put on my lower back. I was on a training camp in California, and we were climbing. The week we climbed 26,000 feet, and 4 days into the training camp, my lower back was really sore. I could take these pads and put them, boom, boom, and it flushed out all the junk out of my lower back. It felt much better the next day. So again, you can put these on your arms. They don't want you to put them on your chest because the heart, the electrical signals from the heart, but you can put them on basically anywhere. Your forearms if you're a rock climber or something, or but for cycling, they definitely work.